Hello everyone. So with the Nintendo Switch presentation being literally only a few days away, because this video it's going to go up on January 10th, I thought it would be appropriate to now talk about what the hell this thing is going to be. Now, we don't know, we just know a bunch of rumors, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about my predictions. So, as we all know, that Super Mario Rabbids RPG is gonna pop up. Maybe, I don't know. If it was real, how would I feel about that? It'd be weird. I feel like the Rabbids never really achieved a sort of status that would make them, a character that should cross over with Mario. Mario is so iconic and cool that I feel like it just makes more sense for him to be with Sonic or maybe some other iconic video game character, especially some from the PS2 era like Ratchet and Clank or Crash Bandicoot. I just can't see Mario hanging out with Master Chief, you know what I mean? Like, has to be a character with a similar style to him, I guess. I don't know. But seeing him with the Rabbids, it's weird because the Rabbids I feel like they just do not click with Mario. They're just these weird characters that just sort of died off and had a very short-lived franchise. So I just feel like, then why are they hanging out with Mario? It's kind of weird. Anyway, moving on from that. People are saying, there's also these fake papers with the games are going to be presented on the piece of paper that are being shown off as videos. And one of them, says we're going to get Splatoon, and that the Splatoon for the Nintendo Switch is going to be called Splatoon Refresh or Splatoon Remixed. I don't know. I personally think Splatoon Refresh will just sound better. I just feel like it's more fitting, and really, it's not a sequel, or maybe it is, I don't know, and hopefully we will find out what that is going to be. And I obviously want to know what is the release date for Breath of the Wild, because it just wouldn't make sense for it not to be a launch title if everything they've ever done with the Nintendo Switch to market it has been, with Breath of the Wild. On the Tonight Show of Jimmy Fallon, they showed off Breath of the Wild. The first ever trailer for the Nintendo Switch used Breath of the Wild. They keep showing concept art for Breath of the Wild. They keep showing screenshots for Breath of the Wild. So this game has to be a launch game. It just would not make sense for it to be, otherwise. So my guess is that they're going to announce when it's coming out in the upcoming Switch presentation. And I would also like to see the announcement for the Super Smash Bros. Version for Nintendo Switch. I'd like to see if that's even a real thing, and I'd like to see if it is, And I'd like to see, when is that Super Mario game coming out? The one that they showed off for the trailer. That some people are saying it's going to be called Super Mario Switch or Super Mario Switcheroo. I'd like to know when that's coming out. I'd like to know what is it going to be actually called, stuff like that. Some people are speculating that we're going to get Skyrim, and to me it just makes sense. They have to have Skyrim. Maybe not, as a launch game alongside Breath of the Wild and Super Mario for Switch, but soon, like within the next few months, we gotta get Skyrim for the Nintendo Switch. I would guess, if not March, I would think maybe April or May. May at the latest, that we're gonna get Skyrim. Now let's see. Basically, I just want these games to be confirmed. I just want these games to be announced already. I want the rumors to stop. I want us to have official information on the Nintendo Switch, no more stupid rumors. And I want them to officially announce the specs and all that crap for the Nintendo Switch. People are saying it's going to be a weak system. And then you have some people saying it's going to be on par with the PS4 and Xbox One. And if it is, though, it'll be on par with the weakest version, the original version of the PS4 and Xbox One or whatever. So I just want to know, what the hell is this thing going to be? You know, is it going to be able to run modern games like Skyrim? You know, is it really a weak system? Is it a good system? Whatever, I don't know. And I would also like to know the price. I would like to know the other things about it, because people are also saying, you know, it's running around on YouTube that apparently there's even more that we don't know. There's even more to the Nintendo Switch that we don't know about it. And that's what I want to know. I want to know, what are these other mysterious features that we don't know about the Nintendo Switch? And, you know, hopefully the presentation will be able to answer that. Me personally, I would also love an Animal Crossing for Nintendo Switch. We got that stupid Mario Party knockoff on the Wii U, and it made a lot of Animal Crossing fans like me disappointed, because ever since I got to play Animal Crossing for the GameCube and Animal Crossing City Folk for the Wii, I wanted to have an HD version, you know, for the Wii U and the Nintendo Switch, where you just go back to being the villager. I don't know why, but I've always loved being the villager, you know. Not the mayor, not some house designer, interior decorator. Like that one Animal Crossing game for the DS where you can, or 3DS, where you can design houses. I just want to be a villager again. And, you know, work for Tom Nook and pay off my mortgage and go hang out with the animals. That's what I want. I don't want to be the mayor. I don't want to be any of that. I just want to go back to being the villager. That's what I liked. I like just being able to, you know, run around the town and go visit the city and City Folk, and then go back to the town and go to Sable and Mabel's shirt store and go design patterns and see them pop up on the other animals. I thought that was kind of cool. Because, you know, for those of you who know my channel, you know, you'll know that I'm an artist. I like to draw. Whether it's digitally or physically, like on paper, I like to draw. So, you know, having the opportunity to sort of draw in the video games, see it actually pop up in the video games, is pretty cool to me. So I like that. And I want that experience back for the Nintendo Switch. I would love to have an HD Animal Crossing for Nintendo Switch. Nintendo really killed it with the Wii U. They ruined it with stupid games like the Animal Crossing Mario Party crap, you know. And I would love to have a Metroid game announced for the Nintendo Switch. I'm not a die-hard Metroid fan. I'm not really a fan of Metroid at all, really. But I do respect Metroid for being a darker, more serious game, and I do like how it's one of the very few Nintendo games out there that is more serious, that is more bleak, that is more sad. It's a very dark, atmospheric game. It's very lonely. You know, you don't really have anyone there with Samus, you know, and I like that. I like that it emphasizes this sense of survival that Samus has to go through, and that Samus is badass and cool, and she's not very emotional, she's not very expressive, and as I know someone who is a Metroid fan, he said that, you know, he's kind of, that she is kind of like Mikasa from Attack on Titan, or other characters who are not very emotional, but very serious and very badass at the same time. That Samus is originally supposed to be more like that, not so much as she was portrayed in Other M. Which is a shame, because I hate how that game ruined Samus. You know, like, I feel like that game could have been really cool. The gameplay looked really cool to me, but then they ruined her personality. So I would love to see a Metroid game, you know, that kind of, you know, brings back that franchise for those who miss Metroid. Because even though I'm not like a Metroid fan, I really understand how that feels, because I'm a fan of The World Ends With You. A game that practically nobody knows about, thanks to Square Enix not promoting their own game. What makes it all the more weird too is, a long story short, there's actually multiple versions of the game's soundtrack. So they went nuts trying to like promote the game with the music, but that's it. You don't see any. I never saw any commercials for this game or anything. So that's why almost nobody knows about The World Ends With You. And it got one installment. That's it. And then it got some HD remake, but that's it. You know, just random crap like that. No official continuation. So I mean, at least Metroid is an actual franchise. At least you guys have multiple games to play. At least you guys have, you know, a huge amount of lore and story, whereas The World Ends With You fans were just stuck with one thing. And it's been dead ever since 2008. So, you know, and that's what I get how that feels, waiting and waiting and waiting for so many years for a sequel for something, and nothing happens, you know? So I totally know how that feels, so I really hope Metroid fans do get an official Metroid game. And let's see, what else? For the Nintendo Switch, I would love a new Star Fox game besides Star Fox Zero. I didn't even bother picking that up because I could already tell just by watching the gameplay trailer that I wasn't gonna like it. Because this is freaking Star Fox 64 again. And guess what? I have Star Fox 64, the HD remake on my Nintendo 3DS. So I don't need that, you know? Like, all they do is add the walker that was supposed to be in Star Fox 2, which never got made. They added a few new planets or whatever. They add a few new gameplay mechanics. Like that little robot that can go into areas and hack computers and crap like that. So it's Star Fox 64. It's the same story. It's the same banter from the characters. That's why I didn't even bother picking it up, because it's like, you know, I've already played this game pretty much. So I want a brand new Star Fox game. Get Shigeru Miyamoto just a less important role with Star Fox. Like I mean no disrespect to the guy, you know, Star Fox is his creation, just like how he created, you know, Legend of Zelda and Mario, but I don't know, I just feel like he went too far with, you know, Zero and trying to emphasize the gamepad so much. Anyway, basically, I just want really damn awesome good games to come out for the Nintendo Switch. I would especially love Pokken Tournament to be not a launch title, but like soon, like maybe mid-March, late March, or April, because I feel like, you know, that doesn't really need to be a launch title, but I feel like it should be released early within the lifespan of the Nintendo Switch. I would also like them to, you know, talk about backwards compatibility and talk about hopefully doing that sort of with the Wii U Virtual Console. Like, I know they cannot do backwards compatibility with the Wii U. I know they can't. But with a Virtual Console, then you can still technically have those games back on your Nintendo Switch, but digitally through the Virtual Console. And what I think they should let you do is be able to do some kind of data transfer, like allow you to transfer your games from the Wii U onto an SD card, put that SD card in the Nintendo Switch, and then be able to do like a system transfer, where you transfer all your data from the Wii U to the Nintendo Switch. So that way you're not losing all that time, all of those games you played, you know, like, that's part of why I'm like on the fence on getting the Nintendo Switch, because if I get the Nintendo Switch, then I can kiss Xenoblade Chronicles at goodbye, which is a game I've invested already 200 hours into the game. Like, that's a game I'm not going to be able to really start all over again. I can't imagine myself starting all over with that game, you know. So I would love to have some kind of backwards compatibility where you can do a system transfer your games over from Wii U to Nintendo Switch, so that your data's not lost. You can, you know, go play those Wii U games again, download them digitally, and there you go. I would love that. And just announce what other features we don't know about the Nintendo Switch. So anyway, this is Lit and Fire going away, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye. I hope the hype is awesome.